mighty champions, raise your voices to the anthem. Marching line, a mighty army, Wrexham is the name. See the Reds to fight together, speak their names with pride forever. Marching with a mighty army, Wrexham is the name. Fearless in devotion, rising to promotion, to the ranks of mighty heroes, fighting foes in every land. History only tells the story, we are here to see your glory. Stand aside, the Reds are coming, Wrexham is the name. We have made the mighty humble, we have made the mountains tumble, falling to a mighty army, Wrexham is the name. Down the wings, the Reds are roaring, to our greatest goal is soaring. Destiny, we hear you calling, Wrexham is the name. Fearless in devotion, rising to promotion, to the ranks of mighty heroes, fighting foes in every land. History only tells the story, we are here to see your glory. Stand aside, the Reds are coming, Wrexham is the name. Here they come, our mighty champions, raise your voices to the anthem. Marching like a mighty army, Wrexham is the name. See the Reds who fight together, speak their names with pride forever. Marching with a mighty army, Wrexham is the name. Wrexham is the name. Wrexham is the name.
I didn't know about this bit. Wrexham. Wrexham. That's so good. Oh my god. Alright, hey everyone. Ethan. Yes, Wrexham have gone up. Won the fucking league. Oh my god. I've not prepared anything here. Apologies, I've got conjunctivitis, so I look fucking disgraceful. But, man. What a day yesterday was. 15 years we've been in the fucking pits. The pits of the conference, the National League. Oh my god. Just terrible, terrible time. I lived to see the day, yeah, with a fucking case of conjunctivitis, but yeah, I'm alive. My voice is not feeling too bad, surprisingly. I think Notts County and Yeovil have sort of got my voice prepared for what happened yesterday. You know, I was absolutely knackered after the Notts County game. Voice was completely gone. And then Yeovil last Tuesday was equally rocking. My voice was a little bit hoarse. Today I'm doing okay. I think I've gotten my throat has grown resistant to the shouting that comes from being a fucking football fan, eh? But yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to go live and talk about it because I've not streamed in a little while, and this is basically the reason why is because I've been interested in I've been just so glued to this fucking team for the last sort of like, well, the last month or so. Well, I've been glued to the team for like the longest time, but like particularly recently given what's happening. Yeah. Chloe, look who's back. Hello. How you doing? What happened to my eye? Conjunctivitis happened to my eye. I've not been up anyone's ass except for Paul Mullins, Ryan Reynolds, Paul Rudd's, Rob McElhenney's, Elliot Lee, Bento. God, man, Ollie Palmer. The list goes. Listen, I'm just so happy. I'm so happy. Like I, a lot of men. Listen, it was a hell of a night. What can I say? It's good to see you, Chloe. How you doing? You're from Liverpool, aren't you? Paul Mullen's from Liverpool, so thank you for him. He is an absolute legend. He is like. Let's start with Paul Mullen. Can I just want to. Can you hear me okay if I move my mic here? I just want to make sure the lovely badge is here. You'd like Ryan's babies? That's called kidnapping, I think, unless you mean you want to birth his children. But he has Blake Lively, so like that would be a bit mean to do that. You can hear me? Okay, well I'll keep it here just in case. But yeah, I got so Paul Mullen. Nanny, hello. Oh, thank you. It's been a hell of a journey. It's been a long, long journey, and obviously Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney have been a big reason as to why we're here now at the end of that journey, or the start of a new journey. But yeah, God, it's been a long time coming, and I'm so happy that we're finally here. On to Paul Mullen though, the man, the myth, the legend. The legend. He needs a statue, man. He is the best player I've seen play for that red shirt, for this badge. He's incredible. Obviously, like, so when I first got into football, I would have been about 5, 6, 7. So hang on, I've got some medals over here from when I would go into like these little, summer football school kind of things. I'll see if there's a date on them. So we used to go to like these football summer school things that would be like in the university, which is just next to the stadium. And so yeah, I would have been young. I would have been in primary school, like year 1, year 2, something like that. I was never very good. Here we are, Wrexham football in the community medal. I'm pretty sure it's a participation medal. I wasn't particularly good. I've got a Brian Woolley Rex. Oh, this is a silver. I competed in a athletics competition. I got a silver medal in the shot put, believe it or not. The reason I got silver is because there were only 2 people in the competition, and the person who came first was fucking massive. So I had no chance. But hey, I got a silver, so that's good. Right, I need to catch up. Rachel, I am well. My eye is not well, but everything else is doing fine. Yeah, April 2008, we got relegated. It was a sad, sad day. So the season before that, I went to the last game of that season. Just tell people where you got. Yeah, I see. That's what I told you guys, but I'm telling you guys in confidence. You can't tell anyone else about this. Okay. But this one's gold, so we'll pretend I was best football player at this one, and then this one is probably for the same thing. It's just a Welsh flag though, so I don't know. But yeah, so back in the early days of my life, we'd go to these competitions, these summer school kind of things, and then like after the thing was done, we'd all be invited to the racecourse for one of the matches. I remember going to one. I don't know if it was 2005, 2004, something like that. It would have been one of those years. And we were playing Milton Keynes Dons. I'm pretty sure it was like a 0-0 kind of job, but that was probably one of my first games at Wrexham. I went to a few games, 2004, 5, sort of 6 time. 2007, I have a ticket. It's the oldest ticket I have of my time at Wrexham. I went to the racecourse. I sat in the Cop, which has since been, recently it's been completely demolished because it was derelict. Yeah, so when the Cop was still standing in 2007, I went there with my granddad. He took me to a game. It was Wrexham versus Boston United. Look it up, 2007. I think the stakes were, if we lost that game, we'd get relegated to the conference, and if we won, we'd stay up, basically. We went 1-0 down in the first half, and then me and my granddad went to go for like a toilet break. The second half kicks off before we get back, and it's already 1-1 by the time we get back to our place in the Cobb, which is like the far left-hand side. and the place is rocking. I just remember it being so loud, and because I would have been, so 2007, I would have been probably 9. Yeah, I'd have been 9 years old. The place was huge. Like, the place is still it's this big stadium. You know what I mean? It's a small capacity compared to some stadiums in the country, but it's a big stadium. It's a proper stadium. And with the Cop End, it was packed. So it was like a massive attendance that day, at least from what I can remember, because it was so loud. It was 1-1. Then, you know, the second goal goes in, the third goal goes in, and we win 3-1. I get to see, at the time, my favourite player was Chris Llewellyn, who, you know, I can't remember him. I don't know if he was ever that good, to be honest, but I loved him. I remember, I think I probably had him on FIFA and thought he was mint. He played left midfield, and when I was young, I wanted to be a left midfield, like winger kind of player, because just, yeah, it was the way. I'm left-footed, and I was quite fast, so that's what I liked doing. Yeah, so Chris Llewellyn, I think Darren Ferguson was in the team at the time. I can't remember if Carlos Edwards was still around or not. I think he'd probably left by then. But yeah, God, we had some really good players back then, before obviously relegation took us. We had, let's say, Carlos Edwards. We had, I can never pronounce his name, Ugarte. I don't remember. But he was really good. Can't believe we had him, to be honest. Yeah, God, we've had some proper players. Andy Morrell, yeah, something like that. I'm fucking terrible at pronouncing names now. And he came back, obviously, in the conference in about 2010-11, and he was very good for us as well then, which was ridiculous. Right, I'll read some chat here, sorry. My eye is watering. Yeah, I guess that's probably what it was, huh? Now that we've won, does the Dragon of Wales awaken? Yeah, I think something like that happens. Like, you're probably going to have some, like, warnings come across your way. Like, oh, you know, they might see a dragon coming by, because that'll be us. Well, actually, yeah, Wrexham are touring the US this summer. You should, I don't know if they're playing in Florida, but if they are, you should go to a game. Not everything's been announced yet, so I imagine they might go Florida. Does Jacob do that? Does Rachel? Whoa. Hey, that's our ship name, Rachel. Do that thing where he says everything is okay until things are decidedly not okay. Yeah, that's me. I shouldn't do that, but this is the same thing. Hey, snap! You've seen Rotherham get relegated from it's been a ride, but there's your kind of goes. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So, as some of you guys will know, my granddad passed away in December, and recently, so he was a season ticket holder for Wrexham for ages, for a long time. Throughout the doldrums and the pits of the conference, he was there the whole time. I regrettably was not. You know, I was in and out of being into football. Like, I obviously, like I say, I was supporting Wrexham back when I was very young, and then when we got relegated, I followed for like the first couple of seasons, but it became quite depressing, and I wasn't too, I don't know, up for it, I guess. So I just had other interests, you know. I'm into music, I play guitar, so I pay more attention to that sort of thing rather than just commit to Wrexham being shit for ages. Obviously, 2011, we nearly go out of business. We go into administration. Like, we're like 7 hours away from liquidation, and the Wrexham town puts in £200,000 by itself to keep the club alive. Like, I know not all of you will be aware of that. I know some of you will be, because it's a big story around the world at the moment, the Wrexham story. But yeah, the club almost died. Like, it came very close to just not being a thing anymore. And then within like 7 hours, people around the town, they remortgaged their houses, they put, you know, deposits for their weddings to one side, and they were like, right, we're going to keep this club alive and, you know, keep it basically on life support until, you know, 2020. COVID saves us from being relegated, probably, from the National League. Because the season gets cancelled and we're like 2 points above the drop zone. And then we get bought by Rob McElhenney and Ryan Reynolds, the most ridiculous set of circumstances you can even think of. It makes no sense. We're about to die. We're on the life support, you know, DNR style sort of thing. It's really, really grim. It's not looking good. The town is dying. There's so many. I mean, it's not necessarily fixed right now, but the town's in a bad place. We've got a Tory MP that has no place in Wrexham. We've got shops up and down the high street that are just empty, or pound shops, or just whatever. Not because it's just empty. It's dead. It's dying. The fucking bus station was known as Spice Town for the longest time, because it's a really struggling town. And then suddenly, obviously, Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney are looking for a club to buy. They hear about Wrexham's story and they go, yeah, we'll have some of that. And well, everything's changed. The town is completely flipped. It's just a different world that everyone's buzzing. Yeah, sure, the town hasn't necessarily got loads of stores open now, but there's a lot of small independent businesses that are thriving in town right now. I think that's fair to say. It's definitely kickstarted the town, Annie. It's really, really helps massively. Like, the cop that I said is derelict is now being rebuilt into this really massive, like, fancy facility. Like, if you look it up, they're going to be adding 5,500 extra seats to the stadium, which is incredible. Like, it's currently about 10,000 capacity, give or take, depending on your allocation for away fans. It was 10,200, I think, yesterday. But with that stand, that gets added. That gets 5,500 added to it. So that's 15,000 seat stadium all of a sudden. And I imagine as years go, once we progress further, hopefully get promoted to League One before too soon, and maybe even to the Championship. And who even knows? It's all getting very exciting. But I imagine they'll try and expand the stadium even further, and that'd be cool too. Yeah, it's ridiculous. It makes no sense. There's no way anyone in the world, in the town, anywhere at all could have possibly thought, you know what, in 2015, don't worry, Wrexham. I know you've just been beaten by fucking Newport County in the playoff final to get out of this hellhole league. I know you've missed out in 2012. I know you've missed out several times. I know you've had some pretty shit seasons. But don't worry. In 5 years, Deadpool and Mac from It's Always Sunny are going to buy your club and send it on its fucking way to the Football League. And man, have they done it. It's incredible. It makes no sense. It's impossible, and it's happened, and I'm so happy. So grateful for, obviously, I'm so grateful for Rob and Ryan giving us that springboard effectively to go, okay, here we are, let's go. Because the club's always been a big club. I mean, relative to itself. I mean, it's a big club. It's the region of North Wales. The club for North Wales is Wrexham, really. I mean, unless you go into like the Welsh Football League, then obviously it's a lot more diverse. But particularly when it comes to big clubs in North Wales, your team's Wrexham. There's not really much anywhere else. And it's got a rich history. It's the third oldest professional club in the world. The oldest international stadium in the world is the racecourse at Kairas. And, we've been at the brink of death, and they've just boosted us to be able to thrive now. And like I say, I'm so grateful to what those two have done. But it wouldn't be possible for them to have done what they've done without that 2011, the Wrexham Supporters Trust just coming in and going, we're going to save our club, because that's incredible. And to all the people who were matched going week in, week out for 15 years of shit, that is unbelievable. And I wish I could say I was one of them. I'm not. I followed like via the internet for many years, especially because, as I say, I dropped out of interest in football for a little while, but I was vaguely following, and I've been more into football sort of once I turned sort of 18, 19, I'd say. But I was in uni then, so I wasn't even in the town. So, but yeah, So it's been a ride that I've followed from a distance, but for the people who've been there up close, they deserve this more than anything, and they're the real people that deserve gratitude from all of us, because without them, the club wouldn't have existed for Rob and Ryan to even purchase. So, yeah, fair play to them. Fucking hell. They've just... I hope they are having the best weekend right now, because I am. It's great. Except for this. This sucks, but yeah. You saw a video of Wrexham and Glee. Oh yeah, I've got loads of videos on my phone. I'll post them on the Discord. Follow the Discord, by the way. Join that party. I'll post them in there. It's yeah. The town has been so alive. It's great. I'm probably hungover today, but yeah. Video of Rob McElhenney beating up the kids, and it's always that's the best. I love It's Always Sunny, by the way. Amazing show. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. But Nani, if you haven't seen Welcome to Wrexham, it's a documentary that they're doing in conjunction with their ownership of the club. It's on Disney. I think it's on Hulu as well in America. It's worth watching. It's all about last season with the club, and obviously they'll be doing a season 2 about this season, which will be fun to watch, knowing how it goes. Out of context it is, and in context it's great as well. So you should watch it if you haven't. But yeah. Where am I? Oh yeah. Fair play to the town and the people that have kept this club alive, because now we all get to reap the rewards of that, and it's sick. Paul Mullin deserves a statue. Phil Parkinson is fantastic. Last season, a lot of people were saying he should go. I never was on the Parky out bandwagon. I was frustrated at times. I didn't always understand his system. He plays a 5, or like a 5 at the back, but with like wing backs, so you have a attacking left and right backs. If you don't know football, I guess you don't understand what that means, but it's a tactical decision that isn't always like well received in particularly English football. I think English football, you go 4-4-2, and then, you know, up the leagues you go 4-3-3. But 3-5-2 or a 5-3-2, people are like, what is that? But, you know, he stuck with it, and the club, once we signed Ollie Palmer, sort of clicked. We're like, okay, now we know what we're doing. We've just been, since by January of last year, we've been very hard to beat. We've not lost at the racecourse since November 2021. I was at that game because I'm very fortunate. So we lost to Yeovil November 2021, 2-0. Paul Mullin got sent off. 2 years later, Paul Mullin, I think he scored on Tuesday, did he? Probably. He just scores all the time now. We beat Yeovil 3-0, and we're one step away from winning the league. And then yesterday happens. We play Bournemouth. Bournemouth have the best defence in the league. They go 1-0 up in the first minute, and everyone's in the stadium's like, we're not stopping. The ground was bouncing and so up for it. And yeah, the first goal didn't take more than a beat out of the fans. You know, they like I say, there was a beat. There would have been like a, oh fuck, and then right back on it. The drum's still going. The fans are still chanting and singing, and it didn't stop. And it didn't stop the team either, which is good. They kicked on. They were on the front foot immediately, pressing that defense that has been so assured this season. All of a sudden, they were panicking. They were fretting. And Ryan Barnett, who was a new signing who came from Solihull a few months ago, coming down that right wing back position, bombing it down the line. He's been a fantastic signing for us, and he goes in, he puts in a cross to the back post. Elliot Lee, probably the shortest player in our team, is at the end of it to nod the header home. 1-1 in about 15 minutes, and you're like, okay, it's happening. For a minute, we were a little doubtful and a little bit worried. That header goes in. We're not winning yet. It's 1-1. We just get a feeling it's going to happen. Done so well for the club since game. Yeah, Parkinson. Yeah, absolutely. I think everyone now has been won over by Parky. If any Wrexham fan hasn't been won over by Parky, then I wonder what it would take, because he's done. I mean, we've just scored 110 points in the National League. That is a record in history. No team in any of the top 5 leagues has scored that many points in a Football League season. Like, that's unbelievable. Like, how can you not back this guy? He's done something that no one has done before. You know, I mean, of course, the one season where it takes us up to the Football League is the season where we have to face probably the second best National League team in history, Notts County, who have been, you know, a very good side as well, a ridiculously good side. They're 106 points right now. If they get a win in their last game, they'll be the second best team statistically in the National League, and they may not go up because the playoffs are a hell, as Wrexham fans will very much be aware of. It's just such a fucking ride. It's such a ride. I've been watching so many videos. Liam Roberts is a big Wrexham YouTuber. Shout out to him. I've been watching some of his vlogs recently, and it's been very cool to see. He's in the end, the university end, where the sort of the party kicks off every time. Yeah, respect to him for sticking through this whole season doing the vlogs, because they're very good. And yeah, just the media coverage obviously is a little bit of a circus. Like there was some stuff the day before the match, I think on Good Morning Britain. They had cheerleaders come out and do that. I just hope that the club didn't ask or put that together, because that was so embarrassing. And for a moment I was like, oh god, we're just gonna lose tomorrow, aren't we? Off the back of that fucking nonsense. But it was. I as I say, I just hope it wasn't something that Rob Ryan or anyone at the club said, hey, let's do that, because that was shocking. It was terrible. So yeah, some of the media coverage outside of like our own media coverage has been a bit weird. Surprisingly, the British media has been more weird about us than like anywhere else. I think America obviously has taken to us very well, which is strange, because we're a small club in North Wales. That is bizarre, but the way they treat us with respect and levity is good. I appreciate that. Sometimes they go a bit overboard. You've got, I think, is it Barstool Sports or something on Twitter, where they're saying like, is Paul Mullen a Premier League player? Is all this sort of thing. Like, I mean, listen, I fucking love Paul Mullen. He's a superstar. He's like I said, probably the best player I've seen wear a red shirt. So, I adore him, but they come out with some fucking bonkers stuff. Like, I think they tweeted something like Rex, well, some I don't know if it was Barstool or some other Twitter, I think likely American, I think it was ESPN maybe, something like Wrexham are in the top flight again. We're not. The top flight's the Premier League. We're still 3 leagues below that, so don't worry. We're not at the top flight. We're in the 4th flight. But hey, we'll take being on the 4th flight fucking thousands of times better than the 5th flight. So yeah, I appreciate the sentiments and the respect that they give to Wrexham, but the stuff that comes out from like BBC and BT to an extent and things like that, it's just weird. And GMB, is that ITV? I'm not sure, but that was very weird. It's just a bit patronizing. I don't know. TalkSport's it's just a load of shit anyway, isn't it? But like, there's a lot of patronizing shit out there. Like, why would they choose Wrexham? What? Why would you go Wrexham? And then Blake Lively and Rob. Well, I think it was Blake Lively, Rob Ryan, and Ryan's family and Rob's family. I think, or at least Rob brought his kid. So the Wrexham women won their league as well. And their final game of the season was played at the racecourse for the first time. So there was a sold-out stadium for that. And I remember there being some kind of coverage saying, where are you going to be where are you going to be housing up Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds in Wrexham? And I think they were saying, I'll just take them to Chester. Like, fuck off, man. Have some respect. Like, they obviously give us way more respect than our own country's media. It's it's a joke. Ben Foster's save will go down. Oh my god, I've been saying this, Ethan. I've been saying this for a while. The Notts County game, I've been saying it since Notts County game. The Notts County game is a game that I will never forget. But if we hadn't won the league, if we hadn't won yesterday and we hadn't won the league, it would have been a game that I would remember, but as more of like imagine if we'd done it. But now we have done it. It's a game I'll never forget, and I'll be so happy about. Ben Foster's penalty save in the last minute, heroic. Like, nothing short of that. Like, if he wants to retire on Saturday after the Torquay game, respect. He goes out as an absolute legend. for this club anyway, and probably for other clubs as well. But if he wants to carry on for one more year, he knows he's got somewhere where people are going to be chanting his name every single week. Because God, what a moment! Like Paul Mullin scoring and setting up 2 in that game as well was fantastic. Him and Elliot Lee have been an absolute revelation for this club. They click, and I hope they stick around for as long as we are on this upward trajectory. I don't want to see Paul Mullin ever leave the club. I would be heartbroken. And Elliot Lee is getting there for me as well. I love them both. And there's honestly, I've never had so much confidence in a team, so much faith in like a set of players. I'm going, they're going to get the job done, and I have every confidence that we'll be fine. We've won 22 out of 23 National League games at home today, at home this season, rather. Excuse me. The one game that we didn't win was a 2-2 draw against Woking, who were at the time on incredibly good form. So and they're going to be in the playoffs as well. So we've had an amazing run at home. We haven't been beaten by anyone at home this year. If you look at the FA Cup, we took Sheffield United to a replay. Sheffield United are going to be in the Premier League next year, and they couldn't beat us at the racecourse. We scored 3 past them, and it was a 3-3 draw because they kind of got lucky at the end. I mean, maybe I'm being a bit cocky by saying they got lucky. There's no such thing as luck really in football, but you make your own luck to an extent. God. Just I could rant and ramble about this for the longest, and I probably will and continue to do it for the rest of the week. But I'm just very happy. I won't stream for a very long time. I'm just sort of reveling in this for a little bit. Let's have a look at League Two. I want to see who we're playing next year. How much of this season have you seen, Ethan, from like the National League? I know obviously you follow the Championship, Rotherham United side. They're in a bit of a relegation battle now, aren't they? I think you'll be fine, to be honest. I think you'll be okay. But I can imagine you're a bit nervous at the moment. But being in the Championship, League One is not a bad spot for Rotherham United, I would say, and you press on from there, I reckon. So League Two at the moment, Leyton Orient have just got promoted. They're on 87 points and they've got promotion. Rude. We're on 110 and we only just got promoted. Fucking ridiculous. So we will probably be playing the likes of... Well, we will be playing Crawley Town. These are the fancy names that we're playing, by the way, now we've got promoted. You've seen every result for Wrexham this season. Have you watched any of the highlights and stuff like that? Any players that you've seen that you've gone, oh, they're good? Did I see Orient's game? No, what was that like? Let's have a look. Orient. Oh, 2-0 over Crewe. Was it particularly... Oh, was this the one where they lost to Gillingham, but they got promoted, so they just sort of passed it round and nothing happened? That's the one, isn't it? Oh, the lights went out from... Oh, I didn't see that, no. Oh, so yes, yeah. I just remember... Oh, hang on. So the match they won yesterday was for winning the league, I think. Promotion... Am I right in thinking that? Am I correct? I don't know if I am. Maybe it was both. No, because they've not won the league. Oh, yeah, they have. They've won the league now. I don't know. But either way, oh, right, okay. Oh, that's interesting. No, I didn't know that. I should probably look this way and pretend that I'm looking at the chat. Oh, that's fascinating. That's very cringy. I'm sorry. God. But yeah, so Leyton Orient we will not be playing because they got promoted. Congratulations to them. Northampton are probably going up with them. Then you've got Stevenage, Stockport, Carlisle, who are like the other teams that are really probably going to be one of the third. So okay, let's try that again. Stevenage, Stockport, and Carlisle are the three other teams vying for that third automatic promotion spot. And then you've got the playoffs. I hope I don't mean any ill will really against Stockport. I don't like them because they beat us to the title last year, but I don't have any ill will towards them. I just don't want them to get promoted, and I don't want Salford to get promoted because they would be good away days. I went to uni in Salford. I'd love to go to Salford versus Wrexham away. I think that'd be a really good day out. And I'd love to see us smack them. Bradford would be a good day out. You got Mansfield Town. I don't like Mansfield. I remember them being a pain in the ass in league when we were in the Football League. So good that we get to fight them again. Fuck's sake. Barrow, Swindon, Tranmere. That would be a hell of a day. Hope we pipe them. Sutton United, Grimsby Town, another team we owe a battering. Newport County, another team we owe them for fucking what they did. Gillingham, that's Rachel's local team. They got Doncaster, Walsall, Crewe. Crewe will be a good day. Walsall, possibly. Colchester, Wimbledon. Wimbledon would be fun. Harrogate and Crawley. Hartlepool looks like I've been relegated, and Rochdale have been relegated. So yeah, interesting. And then League One, you've got I think Cambridge United are looking like they might get relegated, and Cambridge is where Paul Mullen used to play. So it'd be quite fun to have a Paul Mullen derby. I think I'd quite like that. You want us to thrash Doncaster? I want us to thrash Doncaster. I want us to rip up the league next year. I want us to just, you know how sometimes a National League side will get promoted and then they'll do it this like straight afterwards as well, and they'll go straight into League One. I hope we do that. I'd love that, and I think we can, because we are like a very, very strong side. We're probably, like, people have been saying it for the season. We're far too strong for the National League. Probably a League One outfit. So hopefully things go to plan. We sign some extra quality in the summer, which probably will mean that some of our current squad has to go, which is, while necessary, a little sad, because I've become attached to this squad, this group of players, because they've done something that we've not seen for a long time, win a league. I think the last league win we had was in 1978, so I've never seen us win a league. And the last time we got promoted was 2002 or 2003, which was just about before I was getting into football, really, so I missed out on that a little bit too. So all I've seen is shit until the last couple of years, so great. I mean, we did win the FA Trophy like about 10 years ago. That was all right. But yeah, and we've got Forest Green as well. That would be fun next year. And Accrington Stanley, who are they? Exactly. It's going to be fun. I'm excited. I'm very excited for next year. I've got my season ticket ready. I am buzzing. It's going to be a great year. Whatever happens, I think we'll be on the way up to League One next year. I really do. And it's just exciting. It's just very exciting. I'm excited to see what the playoffs are looking like, because we could have Notts County come up with us, which would probably be the fair thing to happen on balance. They've passed the 100-point mark. They're incredible. They're a really good side. A part of me thinks it would be quite funny if they didn't get promoted, obviously, because they are very good, but we've also been very good and not got promoted before. So the bitter asshole part of me is like, fuck them. But no, they probably do deserve promotion. And if someone else does, I imagine it will probably be someone like Chesterfield. They look like the team you wouldn't want to face, Chesterfield, at the moment. They're probably the team you wouldn't want to go against at the moment. The King is back. Where? How's it going, Matthias? Welcome to the stream. We're just talking about my club, Wrexham. We got promoted last night. It was a beautiful, beautiful day. And I'm buzzing. I'm the king. Oh, you. How have you been? Are you okay? Oh, God. It's just a hell of a time. Hell of a time. I'm not going to do a very long stream. I'll finish up soon enough. Gaz Owen has put up a new tune. A Wrexham tune. Let's stick that on. Ooh. Hey. I'm gonna link this in the chat so you can see it as well. I think that would be fair. Metallica's new album. Metallica have a new album out? Fuck, I didn't know that. Luke Young, by the way. Luke Young. I've just seen a Sean Pearson tweet. He was captain of Wrexham for a little while. In the COVID times, actually, he was captain. Yeah, what a guy. He just mentioned Luke Young deserves to lift the trophy. God, does he? Luke Young has been with us through some hard times, and to see him lift the trophy yesterday was very nice. He deserves it, and I hope he gets to stick around for at least a season, and prove that he can, still hang. I think he could. We'll see. Back in the Football League. I love it. Whether you believed us or believe that we failed, we dreamt this moment, our own holy grail. It's redeemed us, it's brought us together, given us moments that'll last us forever. It's been such a long time since we felt like we fit. But it's getting close now, we can almost touch it. Now it's our time. It's our time to shine. It's our day for results to remind that it's a moment. We can almost feel it. We're where we belong. We're back in the Football League. Yeah. Oh, that's good. It's been such a long time since we felt like we fit. But it's getting close now, we can almost touch it. Now it's our time. It's our time to shine. It's our day for results to remind that it's a moment. I can hardly believe it. We're where we belong. We're back in the Football League. Yeah. It's our time to shine. Go on, guys. Good stuff. Just gonna run through the team now. Just list off the names. Okay, got Rob Lainton. Let's go through the goalkeepers. Rob Lainton, star. Love you. I'm sorry you got injured. Such a good keeper. Really, probably the best keeper in the league. If not for Ben Foster coming in. Mark Howard, fair play to him. He's had some stick this year, but he's played for us for 33 games of the season. Without him, who knows where we'd be, because Leighton wasn't available. He was there and he was good for a lot of it. Yeah, he had some mistakes, but a lot of keepers do make mistakes, and obviously when you make a mistake as a keeper, they get punished. But fair play to him, and no ego, no issues when Ben Foster came in. Really top guy, honestly. Respect to that. Kai Calderbank Park, I don't know, but hey, you're part of a squad that just won the league, so respect to you. Same for Rory Watson, and then Ben Foster, the man himself. Ben Foster, God, where would we be if not for that save, eh? God. And it's not just that penalty save, by the way. I've seen some people say online, except for that penalty save, he's not been very good. He's been mint. He's made some class saves, like not just the penalty. In that game alone, he probably made 3 or 4 saves before the penalty that were like match saving, match changing. Yeah, he's been class. He kept Barnett out at Barnett when we had 10 men. He's been very good. I don't understand. Like, there was the Halifax game that we lost. Obviously, he missed. They scored some goals that he should have saved probably, but he's more than made up for that, I'd say. Since then, then we go to defenders. Put some praise in. Reesall Johnson. He's been here for a while now. Respect to Reesall Johnson. In my one of my last Football Manager saves, he was one of my favourite players. Big fan of him. It's obviously since Ryan Barnett and Anthony Ford have come in, he's not had much of a role in the starting lineup. But for the last couple of years, he's been there, and I respect what he's done for the club. Cal McFadden, obviously, he got sent off at Barnet, which wasn't ideal, but he was very good at the start of the season. And Mendy, I think, took his place, but he was very good and obviously consistently fit and available, which is something you need in a good player. Respect to that. Ben Tozer, the captain. Obviously, Luke Young's the club captain, but Ben Tozer's been the man in charge at the back, and he's just bossed it. Especially at the sort of towards the end of the season, once we were within touch and distance of winning the league, you could just tell he's got these. No matter who he's paired with at the back, whether it's Hayden's been out, but Tunnicliffe, O'Connell, Cleworth, whoever he's put there with, Harry Lennon. That he's going to go, fine, this is how we're going to do it. You go there, we'll be fine. And we have been, we've won so many games this year, and he's been a big reason for that. Aaron Hayden, he missed the last half of this season because of an injury against Sheffield United. And obviously we've still won a load of games since then. But I feel like we've missed him since he's been gone. We miss his heading threat in the box. Ben Tozer's throws have been far less effective. Our corners have been far less effective since Hayden's not been there to knock him in. It's surprising because we have a few other big guys as well, but just Hayden's just so good at it. He's absolutely amazing at that sort of thing, and we've missed him. I can't wait to see him back. I think he might be back for the Torquay game, which would be nice to see him return. Gonna have a drink. Excuse me, my voice is going after all. Jordan Tunnicliffe is next. He came in at the start of the season. He had to earn his spot, but he did. And my God, once he got his spot, he was hard to take out of the team. Such a hard bastard as well. Yeah, he got a nasty gash like a month or two ago. I can't remember who it was against, but he was down we went off the pitch for a couple of minutes to get bandaged up, and then he wore a bandage for a few weeks, but he was just, nothing fazed him. Proper bastard. I love him. Yeah, great defender too. We've got Bryce Hosanna. Similar story to Reesall Johnson. He's a very good player. He's got a lot of potential, Bryce Hosanna, but he's just not been able to get into the side since we've upgraded that right back position. Yeah, but I hope to see him fight. Hopefully, I wouldn't want to see him go. I imagine he might go, but if he does go, I hope he goes somewhere good. And I hope he flourishes. And if he does stay, I hope he gets to fight for a spot, because he seems like he's got the potential to do just that. Jacob Mendy's next. He's got a great name. He's been fantastic, especially yesterday. There was a game... the Halifax game. He was quite poor in the Halifax game. He made a few mistakes in the final third, and it probably cost us in the end, not getting those goals. But he's since then, and before then as well, he's been very, very good. Like, he was fantastic against Notts County. He was superb yesterday against Bournemouth. Absolutely fantastic against Bournemouth. That person, the right wing back, or their right back, was terrified of him and couldn't get past him either. He was just... Him and O'Connor yesterday bossed that left side of our defence. Tom O'Connor won every header that came his way. Mendy picked up every ball he could and made some great tackles and some good runs forward as well. Just, yeah, fantastic player, and I'm looking forward to see what he does next season, because I think he'll stick around for a while now. Scott Butler, I don't think we've seen this year. So I don't know what to say, but you've been part of a league winning side, so respect to you as well. Ryan Austin, we'll see more of you in the future, I imagine. Harry Lennon, he's been injured for a long time now, so I don't know what comes next for him. But when he has turned up, he's been decent. He's stepped up when we need him. When he's been fit, at least anyway. And I can't say I've seen him make many mistakes, so respect for that. Max Cleworth, got loads of potential. Max Cleworth, I think he's 20 years old. That's ridiculous. That's offensive. First of all, I'm 25. What are you doing? You should be in bed. I don't know why I'm saying that. You shouldn't. You fucking meant fair play. Very good player. Very rarely phased, but he did get. It was eventually Jordan Tunnicliffe taking his spot, I think. But whenever we've needed him again, he's stepped up and he's been very good. And I think that is fucking great. And as I say, he's got potential. He's gonna have a great career. I think he really is. Aaron James, I've not seen anything of him yet. I'm sure we'll see more of him in the future. Dan Davis, very promising young left back. Who knows what will happen with him? I think he's 18, 17, something like that. So again, rude. What the fuck are you doing? Ryan Barnett, as I say, he came in a couple months back, just before the end of the transfer window, from Solihull, and he's been mint ever since. Been really good ever since. Just so happy he's been part of the side, and him and Anthony Ford are going to be a hell of a right-hand side. Whoever comes in, you just know there's going to be some problems caused from them too. And then there's Owen O'Connell, who came in similar time to Ryan Barnett. Actually, he came in just after Aaron Hayden and Tunnicliffe got injured. He came in, and God, he's been fucking mint. He's been so good. He made a mistake leading up to the first goal yesterday, but besides that, he's been so good. Like, for the season, like since he's come in, he's been really, really good, and I love him. That if you haven't seen the highlights of the Wrexham versus Notts County match, the thing he does leading up to our third goal, amazing. Like he chips it over the back line, runs onto it and gets it himself, puts the ball in, the defender fucks up, Mullen sets it up for Lee and we score. It's made by Owen O'Connell, a centre back who is out of his mind, and I love it. Just fantastic stuff. And yeah, I'll never forget that. I'll never forget that game, but that moment was amazing. I think everyone on my end was like, what the fuck was that? Yeah, it was amazing. On to the midfield now. I hope you're all enjoying this. Jordan Davis, one of our own. Last season, Jordan Davis was one of the best players in the league. I think that's fair to say. He was fantastic. And he got injured at the start of the year this season. He was good at the start of the season, but then he picked up an injury, and we all kind of worried that it would knock us a little bit creatively. But Elliot Lee kind of filled that gap, and he's made it his own. And now I think Jordan's struggling to get his place back. But competition's good, and I hope he sticks around and gets to earn his place and fight for his place, because it's always nice to have one of your own fighting for a spot in the team. It's a special part of football, and I hope he does get to stay. Luke Young, again, I mentioned it before, he's the captain, he's the man, been through some hard times with us, and he deserves that promotion just as much as anyone else. And I hope he gets to see League 2 football next season. He deserves it. Anthony Ford, what a player. We've got a really good Irish contingency, by the way. It's really nice. Really good set of Irish players. But yeah, I'm a big fan of Anthony Ford. He's been one of our best signings since the start of the season. Tom O'Connor, mint. I don't know what else to say about Tom O'Connor. He's just mint. He's so class. He gets played wherever we need him to play, he'll play and he'll do well. He's been playing centre-back recently because we've had not many other options. But if he plays in like a controlling midfielder spot, like just behind a midfield too, but in front of a defense line, just bosses the game. You can't get past him, and he can pick out some lovely passes as well. And he's got a hell of a cross on him and a free kick on him as well. Scored some lovely free kicks. Then we've got James Jones. Fucking 4 lungs on this man. He's got more lungs than I think anyone I've ever seen. He's got bigger lungs than that. Michael Phelps. He doesn't stop running. He's got so much energy. Doesn't stop. Amazing. I love him. Doesn't get a lot of respect, I don't think, but he deserves it. He's very, very good. Kai Evans, we've not seen much of. I don't know if he made an appearance in the FA Trophy or not. I can't remember. But I'm sure we'll see more of him in the future. Same with Will Mountfield and Tom Jenkins, I think, is on loan, actually. Andy Cannon came in recently. He's been very good. Very good. Excuse me. So Andy Cannon, Elliot Lee, and James Jones have been our midfield three for the last few weeks or so, and it's the midfield three that's got us over the line, so respect for that. That's, I hope he sticks around, and I hope we get to see more of what he's about, because he's shown promise. He's not scored yet, but he's threatened come close a few times. I'm sure he'll get his goal soon enough. And we've got Malik Dyke-Steele here, who hasn't played yet. We did sign him a couple months back, but he's not played yet. I'm sure we'll get to see him in League 2 next year. And then, the forwards. Let's go through these. Let's go from Billy Waters. He's not played yet, so I can't say anything, but I'm looking forward to seeing him play. Sam Dolby. One of the first signings this summer. He's put up a really good fight with Ollie Palmer for that number 9 position. Him and Palmer have been back and forth over that. And I think Dolby's he's not scored more goals than Palmer, but I think he might be winning the battle, at least in Phil Parkinson's mind. And that's a hell of a thing, because Palmer was fantastic last year. You got Jake Hyde, he's on loan at the moment. I don't think he'll come back, but, respect to him. Elliot Lee, what a player. Oh, my God. It took him a minute to sort of get to speed. Obviously, he scored 2 goals in his debut, but after that, it took him a minute to sort of get up to speed with the first 11. Once he did, you couldn't drop him. Just so good. Dan Jones, I don't think we've seen much yet of. Jake Bickerstaff scored some goals in the FA Trophy, so he's looking promising. Liam McAlinden, I don't know what happens to him next, because he's been on the fringe for most of the season. So we'll see what happens with him, but he's been there for a while now. So all the best to him, and he's part of a league-winning side now, so congratulations to him as well. And then we've got Paul Mullen and Ollie Palmer. Ollie Palmer, he's not had as good a season as he had last year. I think he'd say that, but he's been important. He's scored some good goals, some important goals. But even when he's not scored and he's not played his best, he's always caused problems for the defense, and he's always made that space for Paul Mullen to thrive. And that's just, invaluable considering what Paul Mullen's done this year. So we'll get on to Paul Mullen now. I think he's on 45 goals this year. $45 goals this year. 45! And he scored against Notts County in our biggest game of the season at the point in time. Yesterday in our biggest game of the season. He just scores. He doesn't stop. He scores in important games. He scores frequently. And he's also not overly selfish. He will pass when the opportunity arises. Sorry, my eye's bugging me now. But when the opportunity's there, he knows when to pass. He knows when to shoot. He's just the best player I've seen at this club for ever, in my eyes anyway. And I just want him to stay forever. He's already a legend. He's closing in on 100 goals already in only 2 seasons at the club. He's a legend, and if he sticks around for even a couple more seasons, he'll pass the 100 goal mark, no problem. And I love him. I want him to stick around forever. I hope he does, because as I say, he's already a legend, but he'll be cemented as one of the best ever at the club. And I think he gets us as well. He understands the club. He understands the town. He just gets it. Nearly done with work. Oh, God, I can't speak. I hope you're having fun, Rachel. Well done for being nearly done. You're doing great, as Ethan said. Oh, God. But, yeah, Paul Mullen. If you are watching this, which is unlikely, I admit, I love you. I want to give you a hug. I want to thank you. And I just want you to stick around. I don't know what to say. It's I sit next to someone, Mark and Karen, at the games now. And I was speaking to Mark at halftime, and he was telling me about Mickey Thomas, who some of you guys may know. Mickey Thomas is a Wrexham and Manchester United legend. He's definitely a Wrexham legend. I'm sure Man United fans hold him in high esteem as well. But he's a hell of a player from like the 90s, late 80s, I think, as well. And he's the scorer of one of the most famous goals at the racecourse ever. He scored a winning goal, a free kick winning goal against Arsenal in the FA Cup in 1992 for Wrexham. That's just, an amazing moment that gets played all the time. And so we were talking about Mickey Thomas because he took a photo with him at Maesquin, a pub down the road from the racecourse. And I was just thinking, that Mark's generation, they have Mickey Thomas, they've got Joey Jones, they've got Lee Trundle, you've got your Andy Morels. For me, I guess I loved Chris Llewellyn, excuse me, but I can't remember him being like, I don't know, he was never considered on that level, I don't think. And I didn't see enough of Carlos Edwards, or I don't remember enough of Carlos Edwards anyway. But Paul Mullen's there. He is one of those. He's a living legend at the moment in Wrexham, and it's just it's such a privilege to be able to see him play week in, week out. It's just incredible. Like, even when he is off games, no one's mad at him because you just know that the next game he'll come in, bag a couple, and he'll be the reason we win. And he's just love him. I just love him. Yeah. What a guy. What a guy. And like I said before, he gets Wrexham. He understands the club. He understands the town, more importantly, and the people of the town. It's like he's not one of our own, but it's like he is, and he's an honorary La, if you like. Paul Mullen. What can you say? Phil Parkinson, by the way, I'd go through a wall for him. What a manager. Amazing. Stick around, please. Keep us going. Keep us up the leagues. Let's get to League One next year. Who knows what happens with the Championship? Could be a while before we see the Championship, if we're being realistic. Depends how the investment goes with the owners. See how much investment we get. But, if investment is very good, who knows? It might not even be that long before the Championship. But I think it'll come. That's the main thing. I do think we will get to the Championship before too long. I don't know when. I think the main challenge is conquering League One, because the step up from National League to League Two isn't that high from what we've seen in the past. League Two to League One, and like being the top half of League One, I think that's where the real challenge is. So I hope that we really we really solidify ourselves in League One quick, because you don't want to be struggling between League One and League Two. You want to be sort of in League One comfortably, and then you're like, okay, let's press on from here. Let's go for the Championship. And then once we're at the Championship, who knows? I haven't thought that far. It's impossible to, because we've just come out of 15 years in the fucking conference. I've not even thought about that. It's impossible to, but just the idea of it being there, the dream of it being there, is just inconceivable. It's really nice, and I hope we're it sounds really funny for any football fans in the football pyramid, yourself included, Ethan. We look at the LDV. Well, it's the Papa John's Trophy now. Back in 2005, it was the LDV Vans Trophy, and we won it. And that's a memory that I hold quite nicely. And was it the Just Go t-shirts or the Gap t-shirt? The t-shirts, the football, the kits. We either had a Gap sponsorship or it was Just Go. I can't remember. But Papa John's, right. So Rotherham have won it. Okay, you'll know then. How good did that feel? Because a lot of people will kind of joke about like the Papa John's Trophy or like the Football League trophy below like the Championship and Premier League as like it's a bit of a joke trophy. But like that's one of my fondest memories before like I kind of became really aware of football. Is like, oh yeah, we won that cup. That was a really big day for us. Like, it's always a mark of like, oh, that was a good time. I remember that. That was really fun. Like, I would love us to win the Papa John's Trophy. That would be really good. Like, I'd love that. And the fact that we're not going to be in the FA Trophy anymore, that's fucking wonderful. We're going to be in the League Cup now. That's weird. We're in the League Cup. We could be playing some Premier League teams in the racecourse very soon. That'd be exciting. Yeah, God, it's so exciting. The possibilities are there and they're endless. And listen, I'm all in. I'm all in. So I'm not committing to anything on film right now, but I may well end up making this a regular thing, talking about Wrexham on stream with you guys. I know not a lot of you guys care, but I do. So you're coming along for the ride. Welcome aboard. We're gonna have a good one. I might even stream the next. It's not FIFA anymore, is it? EAFC, is that what it is? Something like that. The next football game, the next EA football game that comes out, I'll do a career mode of Wrexham, going all the way to the Premier League and more. If Rotherham ever face Wrexham, that would be it'd be a good day though. I'll go up to Rotherham. I'll go to Rotherham to see that match. Definitely. I'll say hey. EAFC, right? Yeah. Something you care about and passion. Exactly. Yeah. I'm all in on this now. It's. I'm not going to do match day vlogs because I feel far too uncomfortable having a camera out and talking to a camera in public. It just makes me feel very uncomfortable. But yeah. I'll do like post match streams maybe of like FIFA and whatnot. I think that'd be good, and we can do post match talks and things like that. Yeah. Oh, it's just very exciting. It's very good. Yeah, exactly, Ethan. Yeah. Oh, man. It's just great. It's just great. I'm really happy. It's been a crazy season, you know, like only now do I really get to look back at it and go, wow, we've really done something incredible here. Because not only have we won the league, which is incredible in and of itself, but we've been the most impressive side to win the league ever. Full stop. It's, you know, like I say, Paul Mullin scored 45 goals this year. Like, that's ridiculous. We've not really been able to appreciate that until, you know, we've got over the line. And now we're over the line, we can look at those things. I'm in a Discord channel with a lot of Wrexham fans, and a lot of them are American. And I think in America versus the UK, there's a bit of a disparity in how we look at sports. America, the US fans particularly like to be very statistical or focus on the stats as and when they come out. And I think in the UK that is becoming a trend. Certainly, there are a lot of, like, especially in like the, you know, Sky Sports, and when they cover like Premier League football and stuff, they talk about the stats a lot. Sure, but like for me as a fan, I don't care about the stats until the job's done. You know what I mean? Until we've won the league, I don't care that we've won 22 out of 23 games at the racecourse. I don't care that Paul Mullin scored 45 goals. I don't care, you know, we've got this level of chances created every game. Whatever. I couldn't give a shit. But once we've won the league, let's celebrate all of that. Let's talk about all of it. You know, record-setting home fortress of a home record at the moment. The longest unbeaten run, I think, in the National League, probably, definitely in our history. It's just, yeah, again, I'm going to talk about Paul Mullin all the time, but Paul Mullin, he's second to Macaulay Langstaff at the moment, but, I mean, fair play to Macaulay Langstaff, what a player. But Paul Mullin, I'd rather have him in my team. And I know that's partly because it's sentimental, because I adore the man. But it's also just the impact he has on your team. Because if you watch the Wrexham Notts County match at the racecourse, throw the highlights on. Just go to the Wrexham channel and watch those highlights. Paul Mullin grabs that game by the scruff of its neck and goes, we're winning this game. He scores, he assists 2, we win 3-2. Macaulay Langstaff is a very good player. He did not get a sniff. I don't think he's the type of player to grab a game by the scruff of its neck, though. He's a very good player, but I don't think that's what he does. So I'd rather have Mullin in my team. I'd love to have both of them. Hey, if Notts County don't go up, Macaulay, I think Rob and Ryan have an offer for you. but yeah, just yeah, I wouldn't replace Paul Mullin with anyone. Honestly, anyone. And there's talk right now about Hal Robson-Kanu wanting to play for Wrexham. He's offering to sign for Wrexham, and he'll donate all of his salary to a charity of the fans' choosing or whatever. And like, I mean, listen, I love Hal Robson-Kanu for what he did for us, for Wales fans, in France in 2016 against Belgium. That goal is etched in my mind. What a goal he scored! What a fucking goal he scored! It's a moment I'll never forget. But I don't like that. I don't like the smell, the sound of that offer. It just sounds like he's trying to jump in on the circus, you know, trying to get on the bandwagon, and it's a bit all about me kind of thing. And Ben Foster's been saying it for a little while. We have a group of players that have no egos. There's no sort of attitude. They're all just, let's get it done. Let's do the job. Let's be professional and get things done for this group of fans, this community. And that's what I want. I want this group to stay harmonious and together for as long as possible. And I don't know if the way this is being put forward by Hal Robson-Kanu is conducive to that. I don't even know if he gets in the team, to be honest. Like, does he play over Paul Mullin? No. Does he play over Elliot Lee? No. Do I want him to fight with Jordan Davis for a position? No. Do I think he deserves a spot over Palmer and Dolby? Wow, that would be interesting. He's not played for a few years. No. Like, I don't think he gets in the team. I don't see the point. And I think if we're going to boost that position of the pitch for ourselves, we're looking for an attacking player. I think there are better options that we can sign than Hal Robson-Kanu. So, I don't know who they are right now, but they're out there. So I'm sure they'll be doing the scouting to find them as we speak. But yeah, I don't know about Hal Robson-Kanu. I love what he did for Wales in 2016. Don't get me wrong, but I'm skeptical. I'm skeptical, and I think that's fair. I'm sure I could be wrong. He could have the best of intentions. He could be mint. He could, be a fucking hero and score 30 goals next year for Wrexham and send us to League One. I just don't see it that way at the moment. It seems a bit hard to grasp. Do I think we'll get anyone in the summer? I think so. Yeah, I think we'll probably get a few. Well, I don't know. It depends. I think we'll sell or get rid of a couple. Some names I've mentioned when I was reading through the squad list, I'm looking at them thinking they're probably going to go. And I'm a bit sad about that with some of them because I think they've contributed to us going up and I think they deserve recognition for that. I think the sad bit is they might not get to reap the rewards of it. So, yeah, but I think if we do let go of some people, we'll have to improve our depth. So if we're talking who we're going to sign, I haven't got names for you, but I think we'll sign a left back to compete with Jacob Mendy because I don't know if Callum McFadden will stick around. Our right back position is looking very strong with Ford and Barnett, so I don't know if we'll sign anyone there. Our centre back position is very strong. I imagine we'll see Harry Lennon possibly go because he's not really had much of a sniff the past 2 years. And we've got Hayden, Tunnicliffe, O'Connell, Tozer, and Cleworth in those positions, and that's a lot to go into 3 spots. So I don't know. In the midfield, I worry about. It's sad to say. Like, I think we need the depth, but I do worry about Luke Young. I hope Luke Young and Jordan Davis, especially, stick around for next season at the very least. But I don't know. I hope they get to stick around at least for a season and get to play league football. But to be fair, midfield isn't a spot I'm too worried about. I think we could do with maybe one more signing in the midfield because once we lose Elliot Lee, we have Jordan Davis. But if Elliot Lee gets injured, I wonder what happens a little bit. And also to an extent, because Tom O'Connor is a very key role. I think Parkinson knows what he's doing with O'Connor because no matter what happens when O'Connor's on the pitch, we're just so much more defensively sound in the midfield. We boss it so much more when he's playing. Even if he's not in the midfield, we have such a strong influence on that part of the pitch when O'Connor's playing. So I can't see him being dropped from the 11. I just wonder who goes in to which spots when he is playing because we've got a lot of good players to go into 11 spots, and it's not gonna. Some people are gonna miss out, so I wonder what happens to them. I worry about Ollie Palmer, not because I want him to go or I think he should go. I don't think he should go at all. I worry that he might feel like he's not getting the amount of games that he wants anymore. So he's going to try and find another club where he will get those minutes that he wants and deserves. I hope he doesn't see it like that. I hope he sees what we're doing and goes, I want to stick around and fight for my spot, because he is a great player. He's got a fucking great striking ability in there. He's just not shown it an awful lot in the last couple of months, and I hope that doesn't deter him from trying to fight for his spot, because I think he should still be a Wrexham player come next summer. Not this summer, next summer. So I hope he sticks around. Mullin, he's not allowed to leave. I'll lock him in my fucking room if I have to. He's not leaving. Elliot Lee, same thing. Sam Dolby, I think he'll stick around. I think he'll be around for a while, Sam Dolby, as long as he keeps doing what he's doing. Become a bit more clinical, and he'll be fine. He'll be fine, yeah. Ford's a good player when we had him. We didn't use him enough. You know what? I've seen the same thing said about his position rival, Ryan Barnett. Again, the person I'm sat next to, Mark, he has a friend who was a Shrewsbury fan. And Ryan Barnett was playing for Shrewsbury when he was like 18, 19, and he wasn't apparently cut out for it. He was a little bit not up to it. But he's come to us and he's been fantastic. And Ford, same thing. He's just been fantastic. They've both been great. And I think that's one of the spots. So the right back and the defence spots, I don't think we need to worry about upgrading too much. Midfield, maybe one signing. Striker, I don't know. Maybe. And goalkeeper. Goalkeeper entirely depends on whether or not Ben Foster sticks around, I think. If we get Ben Foster... Well, I guess that is the signing. If we sign Ben Foster for a season, don't have to worry, because Rob Layton will probably be fit again. And Mark Howder, I imagine, might stick around. But if we don't get Ben Foster, I think we do have to go into the market to get ourselves a proper keeper. And I mean, like I say, Rob Layton's great, so maybe he could do the job. But I think I'd be comfortable if we got another keeper in, because Rob Layton has been injured quite a few times the last 2 seasons. So we need someone who can be in net for, the majority of games for a season and be comfortable. So, yeah. But yeah, like I say, I love this bunch of players. I adore them all. Every single one, no matter how much of a role they've had. Oh yeah, I think Reece Hall-Johnson and Hosanna will probably leave. I don't want them to necessarily. I think they deserve to go to the Football League, but I don't know if they will, because of the position that Ryan Barnett and Ford hold over them. So yeah, but that's football. And I think that we're going to end things here now. I think my voice is dying a death right now, so I'll be ending stream here. I hope you guys enjoyed this fucking ramble about Wrexham and what happened yesterday. Just amazing stuff. I can't even begin to explain how I'm feeling. Just cloud 9 and then some. It was amazing. I've just seen a stat there. Dan Wrexham on Twitter has just tweeted, we got 67 out of 69 possible points at home this season. 67 out of 69 points in the season at home. That's ridiculous. That doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. But it just did. It just did. And that is just great. So grateful for what this team have done for the town. What Rob and Ryan have done for the town. What those fans that have done for the town for keeping the club alive for so long. Just so grateful for it, and let the good times roll on, Let's kick it on into the next season, into the Football League. Next season of Welcome to Wrexham is going to be smashing. That's going to be mint. Let me pull up the highlights of the match. I don't know if you saw the match yourself, Ethan, yesterday. I'll share with you the highlights here. It's like a 20-minute package of the highlights. It's quite comprehensive, so you might enjoy that. But yeah, I'm going to end here now. So thank you for watching, guys. I don't know when I'm going to stream next. I've been a little bit out of sorts as far as like streaming games. I haven't really played a game in like a little while now. I played a bit in New World with Rachel. But I haven't been doing an awful lot of gaming recently, so I'll come back to it when I fancy it. I'm just not so up for it at the moment, so we'll see. But yeah, thank you guys. I'll see you later. Up the town. Up the fucking town.